Hey, it's Dr. Deal with 5 reasons why you will never forget that day that you received the call that your mother or your father passed away. I see a lot of people posting that, like, once a death anniversary comes up, they're like, I will never forget that day that that call came through. And that leads me to number one. It was the day that your worst nightmare happened. I remember being a little kid, and that was the worst fear, that I was going to lose my mom or my dad. So when that happened, devastating, is an understatement. And that leads me to number two. That was the day you felt like an orphan. I often described it in the previous video. It felt like when my mom died that the umbilical cord was cut again. I just remembered feeling that disconnect happen, and that leads me to number three, the day your family felt like it died or broke apart. Because once the mom or the dad leaves, or a grandparent, it's just like the family dynamics they shift, and then it's just like a whole different family, and you have to build that back up again. And that leads me to number four. That day changed you forever. Like, I don't feel the same like I did before my parents passed away. I feel like a different person. I feel like a second version of myself. I can't explain that, but if you know, right? And that leads me to number five, the day that you wished never happened. That's a day that you wish you could just reverse back and start over 2 or 3 years later. I know I often catch myself, like, if I see an old show that I haven't seen since my parents had died, say maybe an old cartoon or something, and I'm like, ooh, the last time I watched this, my parents were alive. And that's the type of thoughts that I have. And all of that is part of grieving. All of this that I'm doing right now is a part of the grieving process. If you're struggling with any of these, please seek a therapist so they can help you maneuver through your grief. Praying for everybody who has lost anybody. Keep their memories alive, keep them happy, create a tradition, associated with your parents. Create a new version of yourself. And if you don't know how to begin these things, that's why therapists are there to help you maneuver through this.